This is the Music History Today podcast for November the 19th. On today's show, Adam Levine becomes the sexiest man alive, Michael Jackson makes history twice for all the wrong reasons, and Milli Vanilli gets stripped. First up, though, on this date in 1828, composing great Franz Schubert passed away from typhoid fever at the age of 31. In 1954, Sammy Davis Jr. was involved in a car accident which soon led to him losing the use of his left eye. In 1973, Led Zeppelin started recording the demos for what turned out to be the album Physical Graffiti. In 1979, Loverboy played their first gig. They were the opening act for Kiss in Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada. In 1979, Chuck Berry got out of prison after spending time there for tax evasion. In 1990, Milli Vanilli were stripped of their Grammy Award for Best New Artist after their producer admitted only days earlier that Robin Fab never sang any of the songs on their album Girl You Know It's True. No one was ever given the award in its place because the Recording Academy said that they never tabulated who was second in their voting. The other nominees that night, for the record, were British songstress Neneh Cherry, who had the hit song Buffalo Stance, the Indigo Girls, who had the folk rock hit Closer to Fine, British house music group Soul to Soul, who had the hits Back to Life and Keep on Moving, and rapper Tone Loc, who had the hit songs Funky Cold Medina and Wild Thing. In 1995, Part 1 of the Beatles anthology docuseries premiered on ABC television. Disney Plus is now going to rebroadcast that starting November 26th for those of you interested. In 2002, Michael Jackson dangled his son Prince Michael over a hotel balcony rail while he was saying hello to fans outside of his hotel. In 2003, Michael Jackson made news again, this time because police issued an arrest warrant for him concerning charges that were made against him by the family of a boy. In 2005, Paul Stanley of Kiss married his wife, Erin Sutton. In 2005, same day, entertainer Christina Aguilera married music executive Jordan Bratman. In 2007, Kevin DuBrow of Quiet Riot passed away at the age of 53. His body was found 6 days later. In 2007, same day, during Caroline Kennedy's 50th birthday party, singer Neil Diamond finally revealed that the song Sweet Caroline was actually written about her. In 2016, during a concert, Kanye West performed the first 3 songs, then went into a 17-minute-long rant, surprisingly not about his now normal rants about the Jewish religion and Nazis at this point, before abruptly leaving the stage. In 2017, entertainer extraordinaire Miss Della Reese passed away at the age of 86. And also on that same day, country music singer and legend Mel Tillis passed away from respiratory issues at the age of 85. In award ceremonies that were held on November the 19th, in 2007, Brian May was named as Chancellor of John Moores University in Liverpool, England. In 2013, Adam Levine became the first musician to be named People magazine's Sexiest Man Alive. In 2014, Billy Joel received the Gershwin Prize from the United States Library of Congress. In 2017, Bruno Mars and Lady Gaga were among the big winners at the American Music Awards. And in 2018, Snoop Dogg received his star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Albums that were released on November the 19th included 1973 when Emerson, Lake and Palmer released Brain Salad Surgery. In 1980, Blondie released Auto American, considered one of the greatest albums of all time. In 1984, Don Henley released his big album, Building the Perfect Beast, and the Kinks released Word of Mouth. In 1991, U2 released Achtung Baby, which started their electronica rock phase and was also a huge hit. Also in 1991, Teenage Fan Club released Bandwagonesque. Luis Miguel released Romance, which was a big hit for him. In 1996, Bush released Razorblade Suitcase. In 2001, Cher released Living Proof. In 2002, Toni Braxton released More Than a Woman. Shania Twain released her huge hit, Up. And Joni Mitchell released Travelogue. In 2010, Cher released the soundtrack to the movie Burlesque. In 2013, Eric Clapton released Crossroads Guitar Festival 2013, and Rush released Clockwork Angels Tour. In 2021, Adele released her big album 30, and Alison Krauss and Robert Plant released their Grammy Award-winning album Raise the Roof. Singles that were released on November the 19th include in 1974 when Linda Ronstadt released her big hit, You're No Good. In 1976, Kansas released their huge hit, Carry On My Wayward Son. In 1987, Cher released her big hit, I Found Someone, but that one was only in the UK at that point. In 1993, Tina Turner released her Proud Mary version from the What's Love Got to Do With It soundtrack after Proud Mary had been released a long time earlier from Ike and Tina Turner. And in 2019, Louis Capaldi released Before You Go. Before we continue, we'd like to tell you that we've started Season 2 of the Music History In-Depth podcast, where we go more in-depth on some of the events that we mention on this particular podcast. The Music History In-Depth podcast drops every Tuesday on this podcast network. Now, back to the Music History Today podcast. Artists who were born on November the 19th include rapper Tyga, classical composer Franz Schubert. Yep, he ended up passing away on his birthday. Big band leader Tommy Dorsey, singer Ofra Haza, Justin Chancellor of Tool, singer-songwriter Tony Rich of the Tony Rich Project, Travis McNabb of Better Than Ezra, Matt Sorum of Guns N' Roses, Annette Guest of First Choice, Joe Carrero Jr. of Paul Revere and the Raiders, Fred Lipsius of Blood, Sweat, and Tears, Warren Pete Moore of Smokey Robinson and the Miracles, Hank Medress of The Tokens, musician Jeff Goddard, Ray Collins of Frank Zappa and the Mothers of Invention, Dave Guard of the Kingston Trio, DJ Fabergé, Justin Hills of Sleeping with Sirens, drummer Michael Lee, singer Lil Mo, singer Park Chae-wan of Luna, singer Jeannie Ortega, singer LaRon Hines, and singer Olivia Adom. Artists who unfortunately passed away on November the 19th, other than the ones mentioned earlier, include opera singer Thomas Linley the Elder, songwriter and British Labour leader Joe Hill, violinist Archella Simonetti, musician George Brunies, jazz saxophonist Sonny Criss, Tom Evans of the group Badfinger, songwriter Carolyn Leigh, songwriter Bobby Russell, singer and actor Bruce Trent, guitarist Shirley Bergeron, music publisher Edward Kastner, composer Earl Kim, singer-songwriter Glenn Reeves, bassist Greg Ridley of Spooky Tooth and also Humble Pie, record producer Terry Melcher, bassist Riff West of the group Molly Hatchet, singer Armand, singer Hank Von Helvet of Turbo Negro, guitarist Danny Kalb of the Blues Project, Diva Gray of Chic Change, and rapper and producer Saphir. Next on the Music History Today podcast, it is November the 20th, when in 2015, Adele released her Grammy Award-winning album, 25.